Well, welcome all of our PCW friends and family. It's kind of strange for Mary to be with you this way, but we're sending you holy hugs. And I hope that you can still experience the warmth between the two of us.
Mhm.
September is going to be about calling out to Jesus when we struggle. And Mayor, one of the things as we were talking about this that I wanted to share is to remember where we are positioned as we call out to him.
Mm.
Ephesians talks about the fact that he is seated in the heavenlies, far above all rule, power, dominion, name that is in this age and the age to come. And we are his body, so we are seated with them above there. And
Yeah.
Ephesians 2, 6 and 7 says, we have been raised up with Christ and seated with him in the
Mm.
heavenly places. So I guess
Mm.
the question that comes to my mind as we do this is, why do we say, well, under the circumstances? You know, why do we say that?
Yeah,
Why do we put ourselves there?
that's right. Well, I will tell you, the circumstances are pretty overwhelming these days. But you know what amazes me is that the whole lineup of the topics that we had picked for this year was done before COVID. But God knew that COVID was coming and that we would be crying out to Jesus in the midst of the storm. The other thing that's so interesting to me about this particular topic is that we're talking about the storm where Jesus walked on the water to the disciples. And what's so interesting to me is that he had just finished feeding the 5,000. And the apostles saw this, and now they're like scared to death. And he's saying, oh, ye of little faith. And partly in my own life, even in the midst of COVID, is saying God has been faithful. He does have the above the circumstances point of view. So we need to share that with him, remember all he has done for us and that he's going to do it again.
Yes, Mary, that is so good. And going back to your illustration, we can cry out to him because in that passage, it was as though Jesus was going to pass by.
Yeah.
And as soon as they cried out to him, he turned to them. And
Yes.
so all we have to do is cry out. We can be confident that he will respond.
Yeah, we need to remember in this time to have faith above fear and not let fear overwhelm faith. So that's what we're going to be talking about in the month of September. We've got a couple Zoom calls at different times, and our Piedmont group is going to be meeting in person. So lots of opportunities to gather together to talk about this and to be encouraged so we can stay above the circumstances.